So today we're going to go over stop motion animation. For this practice, you're probably going to need to go a little bit back and forth between some things, okay? Please make sure that you have watched the 2 extra videos underneath the introduction, okay? So, stop motion, as we can see here, it talks about the process of making pictures through individual snapshots. You make small movements, and what ends up happening is it creates the illusion almost of like a flip book. Okay, a famous one that most of us know is Wallace and Gromit. Okay, and these characters are actually made of plasticine, which is kind of like a plastic. Okay, and they're changed slightly in order to create that motion. Alright, if you have not checked out those extra videos, I would suggest that you pause the video right now and go and check them out. They definitely will give you a little bit more, an idea of what is stop motion, okay? Alright, so the app that we're going to be using is called Stop Motion. It is a little purple app, alright? Right here, I have labeled out a lot, not all, of the different options that you have in here. So if you wanted to add more to it, that's fine. Please take a moment, and I would like you to actually label all the ones. Now, I'm going to go over it in a second, but this will definitely help you when we get to the next segment of this video. Now, there are 4 types of stop motions that we're going to be going over. There are other ones as well. There's actually one where you can work with claymation. There's another one where you can actually work with people. We don't necessarily go over them because I don't have the space or be able to do that, okay? But the ones that we're going to be working on are called cutout, okay, to start with. So cutout is the idea that you're going to be cutting out of pieces of paper in order to create your animation. Now, here's a couple of tips on how to make it a little bit more successful, okay, in order to do your actual video. If you need, by the way, a little baggie to store your stuff in, just come and ask me and I will give you everything that you need to kind of like keep everything together, or a paper clip to hold all your pieces, okay? So the next one is drawn. Drawn is pretty neat, okay, as well. Only thing is you need to be careful that you don't rub everything out. Now, drawn is the idea that everything that you do is drawn, okay? You pretty much start out with one image, all right? And you're going to slowly transition or change it over time, okay? Now, the tips down here are really good. The one that I do want to highlight is the one about growing things, okay? So, stop motion is really about the idea of something moving, okay? And yes, growing an image, what that means is just adding one line more and more and more and more until it kind of like develops. So for example, if I was writing out the word hi, I'd write H and then I. It's kind of growing it. But if I take it and I take the word hi and I erase it, move it over, erase it, move it over, erase it, move it over. That's more about moving it, okay? So try to do an equal amount of growing and moving of actual the lines that you're creating. Alright, so the third one that we're going to be doing, now I know the image in here looks very similar to the one that's going to be in the next one because they're kind of tied together. This is object. This is when you take an actual 3D object, and by the way, you can get these anywhere in my room. You want to bring in some stuff, that's absolutely fine. And you're going to make the objects actually move, alright? Now, for the backgrounds, you have options on what to do for your backgrounds, okay? You can create it to be like a painting or a drawing or a cutout, which is fine, or if you want to set it up around the room so the room actually has, as part of your setup, it's fine. But do me a favor, try not to put people in the background. I don't want to see your friends. I don't want to see, random people walking by. So make sure that your scene is stable and it is not going to be affected by anyone else who's walking around. Okay, so green screen. Right now, until someone changes my opinion, the app that we're working with can only do still images, okay? So what does that mean? It means that the green screen part can't do videos, okay? I can't make it look like they're moving, okay? But someone might change my mind and we might be able to, okay? So what this means is you're going to choose an image. You can either create the image by taking a picture, okay, to place on top of the green screen, or you can pull something from the internet, which is absolutely fine. My only tip, main tip that I definitely want to talk about this here is, if you can notice in my image, my green screen actually goes down onto the table and it comes forward. If you want your whole image to be the whole thing, that's great. If not, you got to make sure that it stops where you want your image to stop, okay? All right, and that's pretty much a green screen, which is really cool. And by the way, you can always use the blue setting as well. All right, to get started, so I know it looks like a lot, but it's really not. It kind of goes over all the little steps that you might need to do in order to set everything up, okay? So come up with a plan. Don't go jumping in it with the idea of going, oh, I'm just going to make this ball roll. Well, my suggestion is make the ball roll and do something. Come up with that plan before you get stuck and you're there staring at your, animation going, what do I do next, okay? Design your characters, design your backgrounds, all right? Get that all prepped, ready to go before you even start actually recording. Set up your iPad, and by the way, you might have to set it up early because you might need to know the space that you're going to be working with, okay? Get everything ready, get going, take pictures, either do it manual or the timer on, put your onion skin on, okay? Don't forget, you need to adjust your frames per second, okay, to have a nice, even flow. You want to add music or sound, that's absolutely fine. For your practice, so this is what it is. It's going to be 100 frames, okay, 100 pictures. That's not a lot because we're actually going to break it down. 50 of them I want to be object, 50 of them I want to be drawing, 50 of them I want to be the cutout, and 50 I want you to do a green screen, okay? You may have the same image or character that goes through each one of them. That actually is kind of neat. But try to make them flow from one to the next, okay? All right, and last one, how do we get it into Seesaw? My suggestion is you're going to back it out, and then what you're going to do is you're going to hit the little upload button, all right? Make sure you're signed into Seesaw first before you upload. So when you're in the upload spot, all you have to do is click the little arrow with the arrow, the box with the arrow, click that, and then you're able to put it straight into Seesaw, which is pretty cool. All right, some last little great tips and reminders. These are all some great ideas. All right, now if you notice in the little picture that I've got going on there, okay, it's actually pretty neat. They've got fluff, they've got ghosts, they've got all different things that they're creating. If you choose, to do a focus project with this, please get really creative. Don't make something like simple that everyone could do. Really think out of the box, okay? Couple tips here. Exit all the way out so no one comes into your video. 5 to 8 frames per second is pretty good, okay? Small movements make for more believable motion. Don't just build, okay, words, all right? I mean growing them, all right? You could do voiceovers, you could do music. If you want, you could put your hand in the animation, but generally try to keep it out, okay? Make things fly. I have thread, so we can make that so you won't see the thread. You can apply a filter. And remember, if you're going to have someone read something, make sure there's enough frames that make it go a little bit long so we can read it. Because if it's just one picture and it's like 30 seconds, not even 30 seconds, you got like 4 seconds to read it, we can't read it, okay? All right, and that's pretty much all you would need to do. All right, and that's it. Have fun. All right, so I'm going to go over stop motion. We're going to learn about the setup, okay, and how to run the actual program. All right, right now what you're looking at are 2 different setups, okay. So this is the traditional from top to bottom, all right. So we have the 4 different legs, okay. I put the metal grate over it, okay, and then I have my iPad, which by the way, I'm going to go this way. As you can see, okay, the camera is kind of like right in between, okay? You can place this on top of the tables. You may, if you run out of the stands, you can use 2 different chairs, okay, to kind of suspend this. It doesn't really matter. This is, as I said, the traditional top to bottom. Next one is this one, all right? So, if you are recording, okay, excuse me, from this point of view, okay, all right, you're going to need to have it kind of standing. Now, right now, this is a little low because my camera's on the bottom, but you probably would have the camera part up top, so you want to make sure that when you're setting it up, it's top. So that's what it would look like. You'd probably have a cloth, or you'd have some kind of background, okay? It could be paper, it could be fabric. I have different fabrics, all right? And you'd have objects to kind of move around. If you were doing a green screen, you would clearly need a green, or you might need my blue, okay, fabric. Okay, so we have the stands, we know what we're going to do. Other things that you might need, so we have object, which I'm going to go over. You also have paper cutout, okay? So paper cutout is, you would actually need to create your own little characters. Now this one is cut apart, okay? So I'm going to show you that in a little bit. These are whiteboards. I have 2 different whiteboards here. I have a large one and I have a small one. You don't need both. Okay, if you are okay with zooming in on the small one, that's fine. If not, you can leave it really wide and you can use the big one, okay? All right, so let me set up my camera and start to show you how to use the actual program. All right, so here we go. I'm going to show you how to get into the app and what to do if you kind of come into someone's actual project. So the project that we're looking for is called Stop Motion, the app. All right, we're going to click that. If you're coming into this, that's great, okay? That means that you're coming to the main gallery, all right? In here, you'll probably see the different movies that you've created, all right? And you're able to select them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually select one of these, all right? And then you're going to come into this edit button. Perfect, okay? If you have come into this, all right, how to get back out is this one little arrow. And this little arrow brings you back to that main gallery, okay? All right, so we got that. Here we go, into the edit. So a couple of things about all the different little doodads in here, okay? Perfect. First, we're gonna start from left, we're gonna go to right. So the first one I wanna do is I'm gonna show you this little thing. This is called the onion skin, all right? So the onion skin, what that is that, oh, hold on one second. Alright, so here we are. So I'm going to show you how to get in and out of the app. So the app that we're going to be looking for is called Stop Motion, okay? So we're going to click that. You might come into the actual app like this. If this is the case, you are in someone's project and you want to get out into the main gallery. So what you're going to do is you're going to press this little arrow here and you press the arrow up at top. I know it sounds a little weird, but it makes it a little bit easier to get back and forth. Okay. So in here, this is our main gallery. You'll find all of the actual videos in here, okay, that you could or someone have made. So you're going to select the one that you've made. Now, just a real quick tip, okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's that sometimes this is the last photo that was taken, and some people might not actually recognize what this is, okay? So one of the things you could do, hold on, is you could probably edit to put your name on it, all right? Actually, I think that's in, actually it's in the Senix. Okay, so once we're in, first thing I want to go over, this little sliding bar. This sliding bar is called the onion skin, all right? It shows you the last and the current image at the same time. This is helpful for when you're trying to place something. So let's say I take this picture, okay? Now I'm going to go and move this. All right, you see how I can tell where my image was before? So it can kind of help me place things. So for example, if I come back tomorrow, I can place everything in the line it's supposed to be in. Okay, so we've got that. So we have the onion skin. We're gonna jump over, all right? We have the taking pictures button, all right? So you could click the button to take this. Other things are, this will actually show you what it looks like, okay, a little fast, all right? Underneath, which is kind of really helpful, if you want to, you can actually set it to be in a timer. So,
excuse me, every certain amount of seconds, it will take a picture. So for example, if I was wanting to get into a roll, I might take this, manipulate, pull my hands out, let it take the picture, manipulate, pull it with hands. So you're able to kind of go at a pace without having to go up and down, up and down, up and down, okay? All right, some of the ones down here, let me pull out that one. All right, so under here we have to record, if you need to record over stuff, okay, so we hit okay, but I want to come out of that. Underneath, if you need to add certain things, so for example, I can add another image, I can add a theme card that's kind of like a quick picture, okay. Other things, I could do audio, I could do an audio clip, so if I wanted to pull something in from a recording that I already had, I could do that, all right. Next is, what do you want this to look like? So if you want to change the look, the overall look of your actual video, you can do that as well. Okay. All right, last one is the setting. Oh, excuse me, I have more to do. Okay, these settings actually are really pretty cool because it kind of tells you how fast and slow your video is going to be, okay, in between each frame. A frame is a picture, okay? So a typical frames tend to be, in any kind of video, will be about 24 frames per second. You don't need to do that, all right? Here, I am absolutely fine. I have, most people will do between 5 and 8, okay, depending on how many pictures they take. But honestly, it's kind of up to you on how fast you want it to go, okay? The slower this frames, the longer. The faster, the shorter it's gonna be, okay? All right, so here we go. Let's take a couple pictures. Let's actually see, what does this do? Okay, so, and I'll go over to the next one soon. All right, so what you're currently seeing, this is an actual paper cutout, okay? So cutouts are when you have paper and you cut it out, you design it, and what happens is, I'm able to actually move this around, all right? So let's actually move this around. So I'm gonna move her arm, I'm gonna put her back, okay? Take a picture. I think I may have had it on the timer. Perfect, okay, so I took a picture, it's on the timer. Let's move it down. There we are. Take another one. Okay. So I'm going to move her across. All right, and I'll move her one more. So you'll be able to kind of see how that works. Okay? Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to take this timer off. Perfect. Okay, so this was paper cutout. Now what this looks like, so let me go back to the beginning. And you can kind of see she kind of goes through. Now this is awfully fast, so I'm going to go back and change my speed. There we go. So it looks like she's kind of like moving her arm around. Now, in order to really see it, you probably have to do smaller actual frames per second, or excuse me, smaller movements in order to really see her do stuff, okay? Now, this is paper cutout. Oh, by the way, you can zoom in and out as well, okay? So, let's see. I'm gonna move her there. All right, so I'm gonna move her out, all right? I'm now gonna go into drawing, okay? Poof. So now she's gone. If you have something that needs to be actually read, what I would highly suggest is you have at least 5 pictures, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give enough time for people to actually read it, okay? So we're gonna have her. to look at what she's looking like. So she's now an actual drawn image. Okay. All right. Now, in order to kind of animate her, what I need to do is change things up one little bit at a time. Okay. All right. Now, a couple of things you can do. So, for example, if I go back into one of these, so let's say accidentally, I'm over here and accidentally get this in. Okay, that last one, you're like, oh no, I didn't want that. So you go into it and you actually select it. And what you can do is you can actually delete that last slide, which is pretty cool. Other things that you can do is you can actually go in and you can copy and repeat. So let's say I want to select this and I want to go here. Okay, so I'm going to copy. Where am I? Copy. Okay. And I'm going to paste. All right, so she's going to repeat this motion. So I can actually do that, okay? So that's pretty neat. Other things you can do in here, you can erase, you can crop. You can actually draw in your, on your space up here too as well, okay? All right, so that's that. So we have these. Now, other things I just want to let you know, although it is great to grow things, okay, like do speech bubbles and then put out the letters, okay. We don't want to watch a whole video where one line is being added, okay. The whole illusion of them doing different things is really cool. So let's say she's thinking of a rainbow. Okay. Oh, tap here to change speed. Oh, sorry. There we go. Okay. So let's check this out. Let's see what it looks like. So she's walking, she's moving, poof. She's made, oh, there she goes. She's saying hi. She's thinking about a rainbow. Okay? So that's pretty much what we have. Now, when you're creating your own video, you kind of want, the purpose of watching something is to have something happen, okay? It's the little story. Come up with a little story, because to make this process a lot easier is if you come up with your story first, okay? Then all of a sudden you can start thinking about, well, what way is the best way? Is drawing the easiest way to get my stuff done, okay? Is cutout the easiest way to get my stuff done, okay? Or is 3D, which we're gonna go over right now. So 3D is a little different, okay? You can use objects, all right? So for example, let's say I move this over, I have this here, and I have this guy here, okay? Kind of off the screen, all right? When we're watching everything, now I'm gonna pull back my video, okay? And I'm gonna look at my screen, all right? Here we are. Pardon me as I do a screen onto a screen, okay? There we are. I'm gonna set this here, there. Okay. Here. Now, right now my screen, the reason that is so low, okay, I'm gonna go around and look at this. The camera's on the bottom, all right? Now, I don't think it would be a huge issue. Turn this up around. There we go, to flip it around. Now, I am gonna tell you that it is an issue if you hold it this way. So don't hold your actual thing this way, okay? It wants to be laying down. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna go to the end, all right? So we're gonna, I don't know, maybe we're gonna have this poof again. Okay. So let's copy that one. Go to the end. Okay. Let's hit paste. 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 And okay, there we are. Sorry guys. Got two hands doing two different things. Okay, so now we're into like, what can we do with this, all right? When we're recording, I'm gonna actually take this, I'm gonna put it on there so I can move it, okay? Here we are. All right, so it's gonna get a little tricky. You're gonna see me kind of coming around, okay? So I'm gonna move it. It should, there we go. Maybe 10 seconds is a little too long. All right, let's hit stop. Let's change that to 5. See how that person's now moving. All right, you can kind of see. Now large movements, by the way, it seems kind of, it'll go fast. All right, but smoother transitions in between are better when they have small movements, like that. We'll do one more last one. I'm going to do that. Okay. Now the last thing I want to show you is what happens when we have a green screen, okay? Now this is object, as you can see, you can kind of move things around. And it's pretty neat. But what if you want a different scenery? Like you don't want to make your scenery and you want it kind of to be in a place. So up in these 3 little dots, okay, we're going to select that, okay? There are a couple different things that you can do, all right? All right, so let me see if I can remember where we are. Nope, don't want to do that. There we are. Here we go. All right, so we go down here and we're going to hit green screen, okay? In the bottom here are all our different options, okay? So I'm going to hit backdrop. All right, we can do last frame, we can do from camera roll. I don't have much of my camera roll, so let's see if I have anything. Oh, perfect. Let's put that there. Okay, so this, wherever it is green, okay, is going to be that image, okay? As you can kind of see right here, the fabric stops right there. So that's where it is. So if I want this to be fully full, I gotta push it in, okay? So let's take this out, okay? Put this guy in, so it looks like he's going across. I'm gonna do the same thing. So let's go through and let's put him in. Now remember, if your object has green, what's gonna happen is that it's going to end up being that color too. Okay, the background. And there we are. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's have that. Let's stop that. All right. Other options in here, by the way, is you can change the blue and the green, because I have both. I do have a lot of green in this one. Okay. And that's pretty much it. A couple of other things up here are these little things right here. So for example, if it's too dark, you can lighten and darken your image, okay? So let me get out of my green screen. Let's go to camera. Okay, so I can change the brightness of this as well, okay? That's pretty much it, okay? In order to save, remember, in order to go back out of everything, okay, you gotta hit this button. Okay, got that. And at the top, last picture, last one there, all right? When you are ready to upload or download, okay, when you go in here, it's this little button right here, okay, export movie, okay, and as you notice, it says copy to Seesaw, you have to be actually signed into Seesaw in order for it to go into your Seesaw account, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, so for your practice, you're gonna create a short little video with, I'm thinking I would like to see all four types. So I would like to see the drawn, the cutout, the object, and the green scheme, okay? Your video should probably be around 100 frames, okay? So if you break it down, it's about 25 frames per style of stop motion, okay? And then when you're done, just upload it, all right? And it's okay for the practice, if you could have like a short little, story to go with it, that'd be even better, all right? And that is it for stop motion.